some more questions here. One question from Colin Linford. Is the Pulse server in your data center, or is it a physical system that goes to the customer sites? Colin, it's Pulse, as we're rolling it out today, is being hosted out of the SOS cloud. In future, we may provide private cloud deployments or even on-site deployments, but on day one, it'll all be hosted out of our infrastructure.
And Sachin has a question as well. Can you talk briefly about the benefits of a branded versus offering an SOS brand? How is the investment worth as a branded service? And certainly, that's a good point. You have a name in the industry like SOS, which is PCMag award winners, and well, how is it that I can leverage that type of technology within my brand, and is it worth it? Which track should I take? My brand, SOS brand, co-branded, that type of thing. The advantage is to having your own private brand is it's just that. It is your brand. It is your value extension that you are providing to your customer base. It further propagates their need for you. So
we just got a note here that sound might be encountering a problem. I hope, can everybody still hear us? Okay, great. So Jeff?
Okay. Good. Was it something I said? Okay, so your brand. So having your brand, going in there with your solution, it equates your name to this type of robust functionality, which enables you to get, frankly, the higher prices associated with the managed service. So that is a tremendous element to having it branded to you. Certainly, we can talk through on a more detailed level session on the benefits of co-branding or even maintaining SOS. But I think there is a strong element to the brand. And quite frankly, that is one of the elements that is truly distinctive within SOS amongst the competitive landscape, is that is something we do exceptionally well.
Yeah, and I mean, just it's like at the most basic level, Sachin, pricing flexibility. I mean, just co-branding SOS, you're always tied into SOS's prices. But to Jeff's point, building that valuable high-margin relationship with your customers, when you've got your own brand, not only are you building that brand, and you can then position SOS as part of a bundle of managed services, but at the end of the day, you've just got pricing flexibility. And so most of our white label partners are making 50, 60, 70% gross margin, which is terrific margin for IT services. All right, we've got one more slide here. All right, how do you get more information about Pulse? Well, we've got a new sub-site on our website. If you go to the partner's website and you click on Control Panel, you'll be able to read all about Pulse. There's a lot of very detailed information on Pulse. Two, you can call in and talk to the account management team, talk to either Derek or Damon about getting a Pulse demo set up. And three, of course, as always, you can email damon.morris@sosonlinebackup.com, that's 2 S's, and derek.wood@sosonlinebackup.com, or call in 877-896-3611, extension 204 and 205. And these guys are primed and ready to talk to you. We've got some more questions coming in here. Jim Dickinson asks, do you have any statistics that show benefits to managed backup services as opposed to users managing their own backups? Any industry studies that help illustrate how busy users are at managing their own stuff? How lousy users are at managing their own stuff. Jim, that's a great question. Jeff will get with our marketing guys and get back to you on that.
Jim, I do have stats on all that, and I'm actually having a webinar called Success with SOS in just over an hour. And you're more than welcome, all of you, to come in and go through that, and I'll go through the various points of marketing our service as a managed service, including Pulse, pricing strategies, the various points of our backup service and how it differentiates from the market.
Got another question here from Sachin. One more question. Updates pushed on a branded service is slow. Any plans to expedite that at SOS level so we can offer similar level support? Yes, Sachin. So Pulse helps that a lot. Pulse is, firstly, Pulse updates itself. So Pulse will be being updated on a quarterly basis and will update itself across the grid. Secondly, Pulse can update the core backup client. So one of the really cool features of Pulse is the ability to push out patches to patch your clients and upgrade your clients. So you've still got to work with PDT to schedule a patch being built, but then once we've got that patch, sorry, PDT, the partner delivery team, Derek's team, and then we can use Pulse to roll those patches out across your grid. Okay, another question here from Jim Dickinson. Can I get a recording? I have a sales meeting after this. Jim, all of our webinars are recorded, so if you attend this webinar, you'll get a video link emailed to you tomorrow. Derek, your webinars are recorded, and they can get them in the Partner Resource Center?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, I'm sure you've all got access to the Partner Resource Center. If you don't, again, call in to the account management team and make sure you get access to the PRC. But Derek's training webinars are all available through the Partner Resource Center. Terrific. Any feedback we can get from the group? Is this something that you like and something that you think you're going to use?
Great, got it overwhelmed.
Looks good. Okay.
Do you envision being able to resell this into your existing base in cases where you are not presently managing their services directly?
Right. So for those of you who aren't exclusively MSPs, and I believe that's most of you, for those of you selling servers, to unmanaged customers, can you sell Pulse to those customers as a standalone product?
And another thing just to add, I think that with this system, it opens up a bigger market for you to go after, to be able to go after maybe mid-market, smaller enterprise customers with the real ability to manage everything centrally and remotely. And I think that's a huge thing. That's something that we're very excited about, is it really gives all of us a real chance to go after perhaps bigger customers and drive more revenue.
And so we've got a comment here from Jim Dickinson who's saying he thinks he can get more support clients by using this as a service. And that really highlights one of the things I was talking about earlier, which is you can use this to win managed service customers. So even if your business mix is heavily skewed toward break fix or product sale, which for a lot of you it is, we know that a lot of you want to move to MSP. You've told this to the MSP model. You've told us this again and again and again. You can use Pulse to make that transition. So you've already got a managed backup offering. You've already got a cloud backup offering under your brand that you can sell to your customers, but Pulse really supercharges that. As we build Pulse into a generalized framework, you'll be able to hang most of your managed service offerings off Pulse. Lots of other comments coming in here, which is great. We want as much feedback as we can possibly get. The good and the bad. So what is it about Pulse you'd like to see improved? What is it about Pulse that you like? Do you think you can sell Pulse as a standalone, or do you think you'll mainly use Pulse for your internal use? We're really keen to get as much feedback from partners as we possibly can. So Ray Reddington is asking, how do we get a Pulse server? So Jim Dickinson's audio keeps coming in and out. I think it might be on Jim's end. I hope everybody else can still hear us. How do you get a Pulse service? Call in and talk to Damon Morris about getting access to Pulse. And we're keen to get as many of you on Pulse as possible. All right, Jim, I think it's just you, buddy. Everybody else seems to be hearing us. So call in and talk to Damon Morris and Derek Wood about getting access to Pulse. We really want you to have Pulse out there as much as possible. I think Pulse is a vital tool in selling backup, and we really think that you can use Pulse to sell a lot more backup. So for those of you who perhaps haven't sold as much backup as you would have liked to, I think Pulse can really help you get a lot more product out there.
David asks if he can get a trial version before purchase. Certainly, David. Give me a call. We'll get you set up.
All righty. Any other feedback from the group or questions that we can answer? We've still got a few minutes here, so I think we overestimated the amount of time we needed for briefly about demo. Sachin Agarwal is asking briefly about API. So with the API, the Pulse 1, I should be clear, does not come with the integration component. So we're working on that for Pulse 2. The Pulse 1 out of the gate does deploy report control. We'll be adding that fourth element of integrate into Pulse version 2. And that will be a fully fledged API that lets you manage all of the Pulse management objects over SOAP web services. But you've got to be an SOS API customer to get access to that. If you're not an API customer, you can talk to Derek and Damon about that. Jim Dickens is asking, recommended or suggested retail pricing for managed backups. Jim, are you asking about the price of the backup or the price of Pulse?
Well, that's really also a topic that I cover because it's not as simple as just saying for managed backups. You can do it a number of different ways, various estimates depending upon where our stake in the ground is, whether it's at your current hourly rate or if we're going to decrease or increase that for managed services. So.
And Derek, how do we get we've got a couple of people asking if they can come to your webinar on sales training. How do we get the registration link so I can put that up on the screen for everybody?
Go to meeting. It should be in the PRC at this point. We can sign in to go to meeting real quick and just paste in the next couple of sessions.
Okay, let's do that. So if you gentlemen will keep fielding questions, I'll get that link for everybody.
Sure, and we do have recorded trainings, Ruben, on the Partner Resource Center that you got into the other day, and we'll get the new links.
Did we address Jim's question there on suggested retail pricing? Jim asked, recommended or suggested retail pricing for managed backups. Again, through our Partner Resource Center, Jim, there's an exceptional resource there on how to price out managed backups. If you do not have access for some reason to PRC at this point, let's connect. You need to see that document. That's a great place to start to take advantage of that highly profitable way of doing it.
And also, we're getting the registration link for the sales training webinar, which I believe is at 1 p.m. Pacific. And we'll have that up on screen for you in just a moment for anybody who wants to attend that. And should note that there's training that goes on every single day at SOS, whether it's technical training, sales training, or support training. So for those of you who perhaps haven't kept up to date with all of the different training offerings we've now got for partners, I really recommend you have a look at that. And Derek's just sent out the registration link for today's 1 p.m. sales training. Hopefully that went out to everybody in the chat.
For next Wednesday as well.
Okay. Great. So any other questions before we wrap today's webinar? Okay. Well, let's hope. Hopefully, you'll all get in touch with Damon and Derek, and we'll get you set up on Pulse. We want to get Pulse out there as much as possible and help you sell. That's what we are here to do. So thanks everybody for your time and attention today. Look out for other webinars for existing partners coming up. We're going to be doing a lot more webinars for existing partners, and